Job said, though you slay me, right, telling God, though you slay me, right, though he slay me, yet will I trust. Right, it's pretty obvious lately that I've been talking mostly about suffering, right, God's purpose with suffering and the religious spirit. Well, I'm gonna talk more about suffering right now. God doesn't delight in people just suffering. He doesn't just, oh yeah, to follow me, you're just gonna have to suffer, suffer, suffer. Not every season, not every day, not every moment. There's a purpose for suffering. I really don't like using that word, but that's the only word I can really think of. So suffering, we'll call this the overcoming precursor, right? What comes before victory. So suffering and faith are the precursor to overcoming something. You know, not a lot of people talk about godly suffering enough, right? You'll hear a lot about, you just need faith. You just need love. You just need hope. You just need to fast. You just need to fast and pray. Because a lot of people treat that when I'm going through something, the way to get through it is to pray and believe until it ends. But that's not what God is trying to do most of the time. God is invested in your growth. He's invested in your victory. So yes, he will put you through things. And the goal of that season or the goal of that trial is to just overcome, right? You're faced with every opportunity, every temptation to go back to the world, to go back to your Egypt, whether moving back to where you come from, going back to old habits, old relationships, old friendships, old just toxic behaviors, old beliefs, old principles, different spiritual paths, whatever it may be. God will put you in those situations where you have to, where you say, though he slay me, yet will I trust. There's a purpose. We even have examples like that in scripture. Because there was times where I fasted and I prayed, and maybe I didn't do it perfectly, but it didn't seem to really work. There was times where I read and I did this good deed, I did that good deed. Made sure I prayed for wisdom, I prayed for understanding. I didn't understand what is going on, what's God doing right now. But then God led me to a scripture that says, he who suffers in his flesh has ceased from sin, or some translations say has stopped sinning. That is not saying that you're not ever going to sin again or that it's not possible to fall, because if you walk in the flesh, right, disregard God's authority and God's strength he's given you and the tools he gave you, yes, you can absolutely fall anytime, any day. But in that context of has stopped sinning or has ceased from sin is, your beliefs have been elevated in God now. They're not in that you can't, right? They're more so in God's strength, right? It's more so in I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Your belief is more established in that now. So you believe what you need to believe and you understand what you need to understand to overcome sin, to truly deny the temptation when it comes. Suffering is an opportunity to establish that.